Hello dear viewer and welcome to the build! Today we have the Hermit. Not like this sort of Hermit, more like this sort of Hermit, but with a very deadly stick. He may look and sometimes behave like a crazy hobo, but within his soul dwells the power to defeat hordes of the Draugr and their dragon overlords. He is a master of the ways of the voice. After the Talos worship was banned, he took a vow of poverty, promised never to loot corpses, accrue wealth or use any fancy magic items until the faith of Talos is restored. We need two exceptions from this rule, unfortunately, especially on Legendary. The Amulet of Talos should be used, which is justified by roleplay, and some fortified smithing items may be necessary to maximize the effectiveness of the quarterstaff, which has no justification at all, but is a must on Legendary difficulty. You can get rid of those fortified smithing items once you are done with them, and atone with a pilgrimage or something. Also, looting corpses is completely off limits to him, but boss chests and market are excusable as long as he donates the items acquired this way to his guardian spirit. As a hermit, he obviously prefers to avoid having company, but the Angel of Akatosh and the souls of the ancient Dragonborns are again some understandable exceptions. So roleplay-wise, he is a little bit like my prophet, but gameplay-wise he is more like a pilgrim, using the fastest two-handed blunt weapon possible, the quarterstaff, unenchanted but greatly enhanced with the elemental fury shout. This combines insanely well with some modded spells enhancing power attacks, such as Stave of Ferocity from Triumvirate or Orc's Strength from Odin. It all means weakening your enemies in terms of armor and magic resistance, as well as keeping them on the ground almost effortlessly and continuously. Early in the game, he needs to be extremely careful though. He will have little Magicka and won't be able to deal great damage, and his armor rating will be rather low. Things start to change rapidly when you have at least one word of Elemental Fury and the Initiate perk in Alteration, at which point you can start casting novice spells of all schools for free, and the apprentice spell of Stave of Ferocity should become affordable even without any buffs to Magicka. As you progress through the Dragonborn questline, you will unlock the Dragon Aspect Shout and the Secret of Arcana Greater Power. Worshipping Akatosh with the Wintersun mechanics will allow you to reset the use of that power each time you pray, meaning you will henceforth be able to cast whatever spells you want after each prayer. I used this to stack as many power attack enhancing spells as possible. Here is the list of required mods: Vokrii for the insane perks, mainly Alteration, two-handed and speech perks. Mundus is a lightweight, slightly OP standing stone overhaul, slightly, yeah, of course. And the Lady Stone from this one will grant as many power attacks to stun lock, weaken and knock enemies down. Aetherius Nords get a boost to their defense when power attacking, and since we can power attack semi-constantly, it will become quite a reliable boon. Odin and Triumvirate will give us the aforementioned power attack enhancing spells, as well as few others like Visions of Healing. Heavy Armory is needed for the quarterstaff. You could replace it with the Long Hammer, but you would then need a few more smithing perks to make it maximally effective. Spell Research and its patches for Triumvirate and Odin can help you with your vow of poverty, removing the need to buy spells. With some patience, you could just discover the required spells yourself. And the Hermit wears a white tunic, short grey pants, a rope baldric and a fallen knighthood from the Modular Clothing System. The attribute spread is 50-50 health to stamina. As mentioned, we will work around the lack of Magicka in some clever ways once we have Secret of Arcana and the Initiate perk. The race is a node. In Aetherius they get 25% resistance when power attacking, which we are going to do very often indeed. The standing stone is first the Lord, because in the early game we will be a bit squishy and suck against spellcasters, which will be later fixed with alteration perks and alchemy. Once you have your magic resistance increased via those means, you can switch to the Lady Stone, allowing us to regenerate all three attributes 50% faster and 100% faster when below half health. We are mainly interested in the stamina regeneration though, because we can execute way more power attacks with it. And the patron deity of the Hermit is Akatosh. Yes, I know he prays to Talos for his blessing and wears Talos' amulet. He needs that Fortify Shouts effect though, and power gaming is a thing. But his actions are guided by Akatosh himself. He probably has a whole philosophy behind it. Yes, Belly, of course he has. Our goal is the devotee ability of Akatosh. It resets the most recently used daily power, which creates a rather scary loop with the secret of Arcana, allowing us to enhance ourselves with many self-targeted spells we wouldn't otherwise be able to cast. You can even add some master level spells if you wish. This stratagem makes playing without enchanted items much more viable. The main skills are two-handed alteration, restoration, speech, sneak, block, smithing and alchemy. It looks like a scary long list, but most of these skills will be perked rather frugally. The two crafting skills will only need a few perks. For instance, they were perked mainly for the legendary difficulty. You can probably get by with just the unperked crafting skills when on master or lower. We need plenty of perks in two-handed. The entire leftmost branch up to the Bear Hide perk, which stacks marvelously well with our racial bonus, offering over a 50% damage reduction when power attacking overall. Then all the Warhammer perks. Yes, the Quarterstaff is a lightweight, stamina-friendly Warhammer, and then the Crowd Pleaser, offering us a stacking bonus to the skill for 20 seconds after a kill. It makes you stronger with each kill, while the Death or Glory perk makes you stronger as you take more damage. With a fully honed Quarterstaff and some fortified two-handed potions, you will become a deadly fighter even without enchantments. Then we need the power attack enhancing perks up to Vicious, Charge and War Master. War Master is of high priority as it grants you a 25% chance to paralyze the target of a power attack. With Orc's Strength, Stave of Ferocity and Holy Shock spells, it means that with each power attack you will get a chance to paralyze the target, get a chance to knock them prone, reduce their armor by 100, apply a 25% penalty to magic resistance, and deal shock and sun damage depending on your destruction skill value. Yes, OP. Imagine this build with enchanted items. We will improve our combat prowess with just a few perks in block, namely Mastery, Quick Reflexes and Weapon Block. These will improve our ability to survive harder fights before all the shouts are unlocked, so it's nice to have these early. You may consider resetting the skill in Apocrypha or making it legendary at some point, as it will eventually get completely overshadowed by shouts. Here is the list of alteration perks. Obviously all the ranks of Mage Armor and Magic Resistance were taken. Without them we would be rather weak. Stability will increase the duration of many of our key spells, which is neat, because recasting them mid-combat could be rather annoying or downright impossible with our low Magicka. Dual casting was taken to get even more duration. We are able to use it only when the secret of Arcana power is active, but we don't cast our spells in any other situation anyway, except maybe novice spells, which will be free thanks to the Initiate perk. One rank of Alter Self was taken to increase health. There was a situation or two during my testing when this little bit of health saved me from death, and speaking of avoiding death, we also need to get the wonderful Hethot's Escape perk, which paralyzes an enemy that would otherwise deal a killing blow to us. And another way of avoiding death awaits us in the Restoration tree. The Intervention perk brings you back to life once every 30 minutes. This is our main goal here, but the prerequisite Blessed perk will increase the duration and improve the effect of the Blessing of Talos, which, given our reliance on shouts, is obviously lovely to have. And we will improve our shouts with the relevant speech perks, of course. Scald will work particularly well with our stamina-friendly super fast power attacks, because with each power attack it will reduce the current shout cooldown by 5 seconds. Oh yeah, yet another effect to your power attacks. Yeah, I forgot about this one, yeah. With the build near completion, it means we can chain a few overpowered shouts. My absolute favorite is the Elemental Fury with the slow time, of course. It makes you faster, faster than sound. Your OP power attacks will be so fast indeed, you may even be able to add Marked for Death on top of that. And if the Dovazulan perk also kicks in, you can even consider some Fire Breath of Ice Form, or honestly, whatever you feel like. Another shout combo is useful when you sneak. First, throw Voice to gather the enemies in one place, then Ice Form to freeze them solid. We will take a few perks in Sneak for the sake of the early game. We need 2 ranks of Silent Movement, because two-handed weapons unfortunately increase the chance of detection by quite a lot, even if you don't wear armor. If you still face some troubles with staying hidden, you may enhance the skill with a potion, so here are the alchemy perks. Benefactor and Mastery will unlock the best potions in the game. Slow metabolism will make them last longer. You mainly need to make the amazing potions of Fortify Two-Handed, Regenerate Stamina and Fire Resistance, which can be made out of Mora Tapinella, Fly Amanita and Dragon's Tongue. A potion of all elemental resistance made out of Hawk Beaks, Snowberries and, for example, some Bone Meal. Fortify Alteration potions will increase the duration of our slow time shout, but some of the ingredients required for it are relatively rare. One combo is Spriggan Sap and Grass Pod. And in smithing we need the Steel Smithing perk to fully improve our steel quarterstaff. We need only the staff and the Amulet of Talos for our gear, so let's jump right to the list of the endgame spells and shouts. So we have the power attack spells, as already mentioned, Holy Shock, Orc's Strength and Stave of Ferocity. You can stack the penalties to Armor and Magic Resist with the Visions of Opportunity, which costs nothing to cast. The basic healing will be free to cast with the Initiate perk, and it will come in handy a few times. Weaken is a Novice Illusion spell, so also free to cast, which reduces the attack damage of your enemies. You can cast it for free, and with your massive damage input reduction on power attacks, it can turn you into a little bit of a tank. All the key shouts were mentioned when we talked about speech skill, except Dragon Aspect, which we will keep for the toughest of fights to become stronger on all accounts, but another shout cooldown reduction is obviously the main benefit. Also, one word of Become Ethereal can be extremely useful against spellcasters and dragons. So if you expect a hard fight, you should do the following. Pray to Akatosh to reset the Secret of Arcana. Use Secret of Arcana. Dual cast Stave of Ferocity, Orc's Strength and Resist elements. Cast Holy Shock and Visions of Opportunity or Visions of Healing. Then run into battle or sneak into battle and open with the Weaken spell. Take out your stuff, use Dragon Aspect, use Elemental Fury, start whacking. As soon as your cooldown allows it, you can add more shouts like Slow Time. In easier fights, simply Stave of Ferocity, Visions of Opportunity and Elemental Fury should be more than enough. And here we have it, crazy, loud religious hobo living to punish those who dislike Talos and destroy Alduin and Mirak, and then sod off to his remote cave house, stronger than many characters with double enchantments, striking fast, ready for open combat and avoiding combat if necessary. I hope you will have fun, and if you like this one, consider watching the Prophet build too, link in the description. Also subscribe, like, ring the bell, consider supporting me on Subscribestar, you know. It makes me make more builds. We will see each other again. Bye bye.
Jugglers and singers require applause. You are a
gamer!